You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start. 3 years ago, Nate was behind the scenes, a trucker from Canada, battling addiction, chasing to be a better life, and trying to make it home to his family. He didn't have a course, he didn't have any excuses. He had a platform, he had plan, he had purpose. He would not let his past define his future. And now, Nate is amazing. One of my leaders, my coaches of the AI Cash Story team, and just part of Passion Over Profits, and he's building a digital marketing dream. Some people, if you've ever felt stuck, if you ever wondered your story is not good enough, if you ever thought that you are not good enough, let this be the video that inspires you. This is the live virtual conversation with Adrienne Mays for you. From trucking and addiction to coaching to millionaire to Camel Funnel winner with Russell Brunson. This isn't just motivation, my friends. This is movement. This is how pain actually meets purpose. Nate is someone I look up to, and his story in itself is just one that you could just literally put on a Hallmark card and be like, I want to be Nate one day. So literally knowing that he's committed to showing people how to get your life paid for by recommending what you love, just using your phone and internet. You know, if you've ever understood that the respect of a coach, inspiring voice, and walking the proof that your story matters, and literally how he got on TikTok without teeth, that literally is just something that just always takes me to another place, because he shows his resilience. He shows who he is, and he shows that he knows that success is in his DNA. So Nathan Bogers, please welcome to the live virtual conversations with Adrienne Mays. What up, though, Nate?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. I love your energy. I always love your energy. You're always loud. It's awesome. I love it.
Bro, it's something that I just I thank God for it, honestly, because again, your story in itself, before I just jump in a whole lot of questions, I really want you to break it down, because it's just mind blowing how amazing where you started and where you are now. So just kind of give people that don't know anything about you a little bit about me.
Yeah, so I'm just your ordinary family guy, right? Father, right? But like, it all started. What? I jumped into this industry almost 5 years ago. It'll be coming up 5 years this January, actually. So, but like, I didn't have a good upbringing. Well, I had a great upbringing, but like, I ended up getting the wrong crowd and stuff, and ended up getting in on the streets and stuff like that, right? Actually, I spent like 8 years of my life on the streets before I smartened up and ended up doing 2 years in prison, right? So I got into heavy equipment after I got out, and then after heavy equipment, I was still working so many hours just to get by, so I figured I'd get into truck driving, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maxed out my credit card to get my trucking license. I got my trucking license in like a week and a half, and I was on the road driving truck, and then I got into heavy equipment, right? So,
but you said you did 2 years. What did you do 2 years in prison for, if I can ask? I don't think I got that.
A lot of stuff, just like all the, like my 8 years of everything that just combined, and it was all just, yeah, it was mostly like B&Es and stuff like that, right? Just to support my drug habit and stuff like that, right? So that's mostly what it was. I had one good assault, but he deserved it. So.
Got you. So, I mean, just keep taking me through. So, you know, like you said, like even before we got on, you said you're not going to see a police car for 13, 14 years, right? You're done with that.
Yeah, no, like I it's been a long time, right? I've been clean friggin' going on like 17, 18 years now, right? So, yeah, it's been a long going, right? I got a wife and 2 kids now, right? So things have really changed since then from being on the streets, right? Like, I had a great upbringing and everything. My parents were well off. My dad was really well off, right? But it had nothing to do with that. I just got in the wrong crowd, wrong people, wrong area, right? And it all just spiraled into that. But one thing, though, right? Like, the streets definitely taught me something, was determination, hustle, right? Friggin', you're there, you're surviving on your own, man. You ain't got nobody backing you up, man. And I gotta tell you, right? You guys heard the slots, man. a crackhead ain't going out there and not gonna go hustle all day long and not get their blast, right? They're gonna out hustle you. If a crackhead's out hustling you, you need to step up your game and start learning some new skills. Because honestly, like there wasn't a day where I couldn't figure out how to get money, right?
Right.
Especially being on the streets, right? That was the craziest thing. Like I did a lot of bad stuff that I absolutely regret, but there's a lot of stuff that the streets definitely taught me and made me the person who I am today, right? But entrepreneurship has really brought out the real person in me, right? So the street taught me hustle and it's taught me determination, and that literally nobody's coming to save me. Right. It's either me going after it or I'm only left with excuses, basically.
And I know the truck driving, so I know you're on that part. So how long were you truck driving in Canada before you found the digital marketing space?
So I started my very first year, I got my trucking license. Crazy enough, I went over the road truck driving. I was hauling loads all the way from Vancouver Island to Newfoundland.
Oh my God.
West Coast to East Coast, right? And there was like that ferry ride just from Nova Scotia to Newfoundland. That's an 8-hour ferry ride with a transport load, right? So, but yeah, I did that for about 10 months, and I was actually more broke after that 10 months than I did when I first started.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so over the road trucking doesn't pay unless you own that rig, man. Do not do it if you're an employee. I'll tell you that straight up. Because you only get paid when those wheels are turning, right? Your truck breaks down multiple times, you ain't getting paid.
Right.
So that's why I got into local truck driving, right? I got into local log hauling. I've done lots of like oil patch hauling, like fluids, mostly water, oil, right? All in the area around here up in northern Alberta, right? So I enjoyed the log hauling. Once I got into it, like I was petrified of those trucks until I started driving those trucks. And me hauling logs off highway, what we do up here isn't what a lot of people see when log hauling. The very first company I started hauling logs for, they're strictly off highway hauling logs, right? Mm-hmm. We were hauling about 150 to 175,000. 150 to 175 tons every load, right? Oh, wow. So that's roughly around 150,000 to about 170,000 pounds, right? I don't know. I did the math right now, but anyways, the log hauling was out in the bush. We were fully chained up almost all day long. In the winter hauling, we were round and round. Go down the bottom of the bush, grab the logs, and bring them to the top of the mountain and stockpile them all day long, right? Mm-hmm. That was my job. I did that 12, 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? Oh, wow. All logs, right? I was nonstop. And that ain't safe work at all. Well, it's safe, but it's the roads, right? It's the conditions, the weather, right? Animals, wildlife, right? Other truck drivers, right? On the roads with no radios, right? There's always dangers with that, right? One wrong slip and you're rolling down a 300-foot cliff, fully loaded with logs, right? So I never knew if I'd be coming home to my wife and kids, right? So that was one of the strong points of me getting into entrepreneurship, was mainly my kids. Like when my daughter came to me, it was almost 5 years ago. It'd be 5 years in December. She came to me and said, "Daddy, why do you work so much? We never get to see you." Oh, right. And that was right when COVID was hitting and stuff too, right? And I was still working, right? But just getting by, right? Just paying those bills. I was working enough just to pay those bills and stuff. But I wasn't getting that family time that I wanted, right? I love truck driving. I respect truck drivers fully to the tilt. It is a hard job, right?
Right.
What you really have to pay attention to is everybody else, right? It's everything, all your surroundings, everything. But the thing was, like, I never knew if I was going to come home to my wife and kids, especially off highway, right? And that took a mental toll on my mental health for years, man. Years, right? So sitting in that truck all day long, right? Just by yourself, and you're hauling 4 or 5 hours at a time by yourself down a haul road, and all you got is the radio and you, right? You think a lot.
Right.
Right? So it was December of 2020 when my daughter came. Oh, my teeth almost came out. When my daughter came. Frank, when my daughter came to me.
Wait, I can't hear you, bro. What happened? Oh, wait, your mic went off. Oh, wait. You muted yourself.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. So it was 2020 when my daughter came to me and said that to me, and it really got me thinking. Right. Started seeing all these people on TikTok and stuff making money with affiliate and digital marketing. Right. And it's absolutely crazy because it was like mind blowing to me. I was just seeing these people, and to me, obviously, truck driver, friggin' I hate technology, friggin' scam. What the hell are these people talking about, man? They're just bull crap in their shit. But then I kept seeing people after people, like ordinary people, right? And then I started seeing like the big dogs, like Jonathan Montoya and like Nathan Lucas with these awards, right? Flashing awards, and they're just ordinary people who took a chance. And I'm like, there's something going on here, right? Something going on here. So what did I do? January 15th, right? 2021, bought my first course, $7 course, Legendary Marketer, right? And that opened up my freaking eyes, man. Not only did that open up my eyes, but I actually got this book on audio, and I was listening to this book while hauling logs down the haul road. While I was working, this is what I was listening to for the next 2-3 weeks. Nice. I listened to this book probably 4 or 5 times. And this is all that I had on in my truck, was listening to Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And this got me to the mindset of like, a job's not going to get me to where I need to be. Right. I take control of my freaking family and my freaking destiny. And entrepreneurship was never an idea in my mind ever. I was always go to work, get a job, be loyal, right? Right. Yeah, well, it's not the case, man. I see so many people, they work for 40 years of their life, one wrong slip or something happens, and now they're sitting there working at McDonald's or Tim Hortons or something because they can't even afford to live right now. Right. Especially with inflation, right? So like it was 2020. I jumped into this 2021. Within 4 months, I ended up quitting that off-highway trucking career. Nice. 4 months, quit that off. 10 months paid off for a debt, and it's pretty much me and Daniel. We connected about 4 months in. It was right when I quit my trucking career. I actually got on a live with Dave Sharp, Wake Up Legendary show, right? Lately toothless, right? No teeth in my mouth, right? Did the whole show with no teeth in my mouth, and that's what got Daniel interested. And he gave me a shout, and like we started talking, and that's when me and Daniel connected, right? And pretty much ever since then, man, we've been like best friends, family. We've pushed multiple programs. We've been top in the industry for quite a while for some people, right? Jonathan Montoya, he was been our mentor for the last 5 freaking years. So yeah, it's been a wild ride, man. Entrepreneurship, going from the streets to just being a truck driver, right? Ordinary blue collar worker, right? And absolutely to where I am today, it's just I'm not here to gloat. I want my family to be secure. That's all I want, right? I don't want those Lamborghinis. I don't want that freaking flashy lifestyle, right? I'm in my basement right now, right? So that's the thing. Like, I'm not up for the flashiness, right? I just want my family taken care of, right? But your mindset had to be amazing. Getting on TikTok without any teeth, like that's what Daniel said attracted you. Just having, just literally, just having the bravery, honestly, to be judged. Because that's the one thing that I've seen. Talking about fear. How do you handle fear, Nate? Or do you have any fear? Because if you don't care what anybody else thinks, that's for sure. Oh man, and that's another thing. Like it brings me back to like my street life, right? Like I did not care. I did not care. If you see me walking down the street, man, you knew I was on something, right? I was one of those. I was gone. Like I was in another world, right? But then it also, even me becoming clean and stuff, right? years after that, I was clean for 5 years, and I still had family members fucking judging me and shit, right? Right? I was black sheep, right? Pretty much. Right? I was always one in trouble, right? I was always one getting in trouble at school, right? I was your ADHD kid, just over hyper focused, right? I was just go, 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 right? And it was me being on the streets, just I don't have that fear, right? You want to judge me because you don't pay my damn bills. That's the way I look at it, right? The only people that matter and judge me is my wife and kids.
That's it. That's it.
Right?
But the crazy thing is, Nate, that I know that you kind of gloss over. You built this amazing community called Passion Over Profits. I mean, even before that, Wealth Warriors. And I met you about 3 years ago. Just you and Daniel, just pushing in the opportunity for your community. Like, what impact does it make you feel when you have a members of, just thousands of people that you've helped, and then building this amazing community of Passion Over Profits, mentoring people, still in the game as a millionaire right now, mentoring people every week and showing up? What does that mean to you?
For me, it's impact. I mean, honestly, it is what me and Daniel have focused and always had our heart on. Mm-hmm. Me and Daniel both are big on, we like to coach, right? Daniel does a lot of the more coaching than I do, just for the simple fact he's better at talking than I am. But I'm a really good motivator, right? I take a lot. Me and Daniel both, we take care of a lot of back end crap. So the thing is with our program, it's the impact that we have. We never had the support in the community that we had when we first started, right?
Right.
Me and Daniel, we've been screwed over multiple times within this industry along the way, right? And we don't want that for people. And that's why we've made as affordable as possible, right? Where people can come, and it pretty much just pays for the coaching and support itself, right? Everything else you're learning is just an extra added bonus, right? I love this industry, and I love helping other people find their passion in this industry. It doesn't even have to be with selling courses or anything like that, right? Mm-hmm. There's so many niches, man. I know somebody who's out there making thousands of dollars a month selling seagrass.
Wow. Right.
I know, right? A seagrass company. And he's making thousands because he's very niche related.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But let's talk about that niche related and even the collaboration, like even before Offer Lab, and we'll touch on that in a minute as well. The power of collaboration, and first collaborating in your story with Daniel, and then even collaborating now with the Passion Over Profits, having a team of coaches. Now we got Russell Brunson bringing us collaborators all over the world. How huge is collaboration helping you just in your goals of your journey, of your why?
Well, it's everything. It comes down to like networking and collaboration, like you said. Like me and Daniel, we just collaborated together, right? And then we started learning with Jonathan Montoya, right? We've learned from people like Dan Henry, Russell Brunson, right? Richard Yu, right? Some big names in the industry, right? We've learned from a lot of people in this industry, not just one single person, because you're not going to learn it all from one person, right? That's the joys of this industry, and I love it, right? But the thing is, like even with Offer Lab now, like Jonathan Montoya, he's like one of the top affiliates for this freaking program, right? And he crushes every leaderboard. Me and Daniel collaborate with Jonathan. We have our own inner circle community with Jonathan now, right?
Right.
That's the thing. Me and Daniel, we weren't there. We were just ordinary dads who are sick and tired of our families struggling. And we followed what Jonathan Montoya told us to do, right?
Right.
We had one of these fancy awards, and we wanted it one too.
Right.
So we collaborated with Jonathan. We worked with him. We listened to everything he said, and we followed what he said, right? We didn't try reinventing the wheel.
Right. And
that's where a lot of people come into this industry and they try reinventing the wheel, and there's no point. Why overwork yourself when something works? Right?
And that's what's so huge too about even the Offer Lab and having you guys is the Passion Over Profits is on Offer Lab. So and I know you've created so many funnels and things like that in regards to just helping people with the process. So besides Passion Over Profits and people, what do people actually get working with you guys? The dream, my AI Cash Story dream team of coaches, both you and Daniel. Like, what's the benefits of being in an offer lab type situation that Russell Brunson created?
Well, like with OfferLab, the beauty of this whole community of OfferLab is the collaborations you guys can do within multiple programs, multiple niches, right? And just some of the best in those niches as well, right? You're collaborating with some of the top marketers and professionals in the industry now, right? And all you
Right.
gotta do is ask them permission to promote their offer, right?
That's
And
it.
that's
That's
literally
it.
the craziest part. I'd like to promote your offer, man. I think it'd be really valuable to my audience, right? Now you'd make a little quick introduction video why that product is so useful, right? Boom, now you got a funnel going and you're selling stuff on there. I love OfferLab for the collaboration itself, but the way these funnels are done, the super funnels I call them,
Mm-hmm.
I guess they're calling it Frankenstein funnels, right?
Right, right.
I love it. But with
And
passion over profits, right? People on the comment going into and want to promote our passion over profits, they're making almost $500 a sale just promoting us on the platform just by recommending it, right? But the thing is, we're not a course.
right.
We're that support, that coaching
Yeah.
that people have been looking for. And say if they have a question or something or they need some help, they can come in on a live call and say, "Hey, I need help. What's up? How do I fix this and move on to the next stage?"
And
That's
then
where me
even taking
and
it a
Daniel
step further,
that's where
like
me and Daniel are so passionate, is
it,
getting people to that next step. Because a lot of times people just need that aha moment and their
yep.
business is off and running.
And the crazy thing is, like when you posted in the community about Offer Lab, just talk like you said, promoting Offer Lab promoting Passion Over Profits is not just about just your coaching program. You have over 200 courses in there that helps out with your whole process. But the one thing that I say, honestly, that stands out about you and Daniel that kills everybody else, and I love my coaches, I love Jonathan Montoya, I love Billie Jean, I love all my team, but what you and Daniel have is something that you really, honestly, genuinely care. Not saying nobody else does. Let me just say that out loud. But what I'm saying is, like, when I first even started with Offer Lab, during our Friday training course, you and Daniel was like, Adrian, you got to get in here. What are you doing? Like, and brought the awareness to people to be able to help you take you to your next level. And I just, being real is something that you have, Nate, that is something that nobody else on this world has. Like, seriously, you're blunt and honest, bro.
Well,
And
you
it's
gotta be like,
right,
that's just who I am, right? If I don't have time for fluff.
right.
And that's why a lot of people who do deal with me, some people can handle me and a lot of people can't. And
Right.
I'm totally okay with that, okay? I am. Because
Right.
I'm me. I'm not going to change for anybody, right? I am very blunt with who I am, but I'm going to say it. Everything I say to people, I say with heart, right? I say it like I believe in people that anybody can literally change their lives with digital and affiliate marketing. It doesn't matter what the heck you're promoting. This industry, just the entrepreneurship journey itself, will turn you into the best version that you could possibly ever be.
But what's the one thing that you can say that, because your belief is something that's bar to none, that, like you said, in this industry, if you just keep going, you never know what you can actually accomplish. What helped you as, like if it's a truck driver out there or a dad that's out there that's maybe on the fence of getting started, what's some things that helped you or may help them to just get started and take a chance on themselves?
The biggest thing was, for me, it was just basically my kids, looking at them. Like, my kids needed their dad around, man. And I needed to figure out something. Hey, man, at first I was willing to risk $7 to take a freaking small course to figure out what the heck it is, right? Of course, there was a big upsell to that, which I never even took. I ended up getting Jonathan's freaking program instead, right? But the thing was, like, it opened, just that $7 course opened up my freaking eyes to a completely different world, right? Like, and then the more I researched, the more I looked into it, the more I got excited about it, is because there's so many opportunities in the online space nowadays.
Yeah.
It's literally changing. Millionaires are becoming millionaires on a daily basis now because of the internet, right?
Yeah.
Moving into a digital era, whether people want to believe it or don't see it, we are moving into a digital era more and more and more, especially now with AI.
And you know what's so crazy though? That course that you actually took with Jonathan Montoya, now it's a $5 course. Like he even took it down to $5 just to get people into the process of learning how to, how to build your actual opportunity, his Freedom Challenge. So the one thing that, in regards to cost, it costs more to get a pizza in order to start your journey. Like, so talk to me a little bit about how, in regards to your mindset, how big does like you shared that you listen to Rich Dad Poor Dad, back and forth. How huge is mindset in this game that we call digital marketing?
I don't care what anybody says. And a lot of people actually fail at getting their mindset right away. Right. And it took me freaking months and like, not just months, like years. And I'm still challenging my own mindset today, 5 years later, right? Mindset is 80% of this industry, 20% taking imperfect action. That's all I say to everybody. It is 80% mindset because it's literally, you got to switch yourself from an employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset. If you cannot make that switch, you're going to struggle, right? And to think like an entrepreneur, you need to start taking risks on yourself, whether it's a small investment or just simply staying up a little later at night to learn something on the internet, even if it's free from freaking YouTube, right? That's the thing, is like, you got to be resourceful, right? And that's another thing, coming back to my addiction days. You got to be resourceful, right? I was very resourceful. And that's what made me become a really good entrepreneur online, is because I don't wait for questions. I don't wait for answers. I go out and find them. And we have a problem and we find the solution, right? And that's literally like, I enjoy having a challenge, because if we ain't getting challenged, we ain't learning nothing, right?
That's it. And then too, my friend, how huge is getting around like minds? Like, I know, like you said, that your wife and your daughters and your kids are what you live for. But in regards to having community, that people that cheer you on, if I could be honest, when I started this digital marketing journey, like just getting in the chat groups, getting in the Facebook groups, just getting the team element that you guys bring, how important is it to get around like minds, that so you can fail together in this whole journey as well?
Well, that's the thing. That's why we created like Passion Over Profits with it, right? With multiple coaches, right? Because some of us have expertise in different areas of the industry, right? And that's why we've been able to have multiple coaches within our program who've all learned from each other, right? Like Ollie, he's an ad expert, right? He's been in the freaking tech industry for a long time. Chris, he's a freaking IT genius, right? Ankush, he's a Facebook magician, right? Like we all have our own specialties, right? But the thing is, as a team and as a community combined, we are so much more powerful, right? We're able to answer the right answers for our students, right? We're able to go out there and give them the real support that they deserve, right? Not that they just desire, but that they deserve, right? And that's why, like, we've made this more of a coaching program, not a course, right? That's why I love it. That's why I've had so much problems with it. And for $9.97, I don't care. You can't find anything with more value and more coaching and more support for that kind of price.
And that's the crazy. That's a real statement, because again, you have thousands of dollars that you can actually, and you can resell your course. Is the one thing I like, because even if you get in this game and you don't even know what to do, like, talk a little bit about what master resale rights are, because again, but it's a little different. I don't even want you to do that. Let me take that back, because I don't want people to get confused. But let's take because seriously, that's literally what helped me get started within this. But having faith to find somebody that's done it and walking the walk. So where you started from and now being a millionaire, what are some things that are different? You don't like the flashy cars, you don't like the that whole hoopla. What's different for you now that you couldn't do before, but now you can do as a millionaire?
Well, like, the whole thing is like, I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, I got a freaking $1 million sitting in the bank. No, I don't. I've spent a lot of freaking money, right? I've won a lot of money. I've taken a lot of vacations with my wife, right? We were in Taiwan last year for 2 freaking weeks, right? And that wasn't cheap, right? We're heading to Mexico again in April, right? We're literally booking another trip to Mexico with the kids this time, right?
Nice.
Kids this time, and we're going with a couple of her friends, right? So we're actually making a big group thing, right? So the thing is, like, I don't know why that's all messed up, but there we go. The thing is, it's giving me that time freedom with my family. Here, just give me 1 second.
No worries.
There we go. I don't know why it's all blurry on me, but it's giving me back the time freedom with my family, right? And me, time is everything. It's our most precious freaking asset, right? We have to spend it wisely because once it's gone, and we can't get it back, right? Money comes and goes, right? You can always borrow money, find money, steal money, do freaking inherit money, right? But you can never get back your time. Right.
That's it.
And that time with my kids is more precious and more precious to me than anything. Right. I'm not a flashy type of guy, right? So I can be flashy, but I'm just not that. I'd rather spend my time and be flashy with my family, spending that time, being able to go to my kids, walk my kids to school every day, be there when they get home from school, right? I get to be the first one they tell how their day went, or I can go to their school event or their play, right? I can go support them, right? That's the thing that's what's changed in my life, right? I still drive a 2008 Audi Q7. I don't even have car payments because I don't want them. And I learned that way. When I started this 5 years ago, I just bought a brand new 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander. And in the first 3 months, I gave it back to the bank and said, I ain't doing payments.
Right.
That's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I said, "Oh, I'm done with payments, man. I went and bought a car, and I've had that friggin' thing for years now, for almost 5 years now, and it's still running."
And that's the smartest thing, right? Because you start to think different. Like, it's so funny because Rich Dad Poor Dad is something too. Like, people have the employee mindset where they work all the time. The self-employed, that's where we are. The business and investor. But I wanted to bring this up to ask you, what does freedom mean to you, Nate? Like, that's because right now being free and being able to listen to understanding how the mindset works when you change your mindset with the billionaire strategies. They don't teach us this stuff in school, right? They don't teach us how money works.
The thing, right? Like,
no, they don't, right?
The education system was built by the Rockefellers to create more factory workers and employees, not free thinkers or entrepreneurs like us. And I wish I would have known more about entrepreneurship at a younger age. Because this is exactly what me as an ADHD person, right? Someone who hates authority, right?
Right.
This is the type of industry people like me need to be into. I'm my own boss. I don't have to wake up in the morning and call and have to answer to another man, right? I literally am my own boss now. And for me, that is freedom, right? Not having to answer to somebody else, right? Being able to, if I want to take the freaking day off and go spend it with my kids at the lake, I can do it. Right? That to me is freedom more than anything, right? I was trapped as an employee. I was trapped. I had to ask permission just to freaking take time off of my family and book it months in advance just to prepare.
But then people don't understand that the rich don't work for money. Like, they actually work for their time, because like you shared, time is the one thing that we can't actually get back. And when we've been programmed, there's active income and passive income. You can still do work. We still work now. We work more as an entrepreneur than we would working a 40-hour job. But talk about one thing that if you never took action, what would you think your life would look like if you never took action towards change?
I don't even want to think about that right now, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, even me and Daniel, we talk about it a lot, right? Like, I guarantee it, but both of us would be friggin' we'd have split families, guaranteed. Because money is a big issue when it comes to family relations, right? If there's money stress in the freaking family, then there's problems, right? There's money literally, I don't care what people says, does solve 99% of your freaking problems, right? It does. Just the stress alone, right, will help make you more healthier, right? It's not that, oh, I have millions of dollars in the freaking bank. I don't have millions of dollars in the bank. I have enough in the bank that I could live very healthy for the next 3, 4, 5 years. Okay. And I got investments into like crypto and stuff like that. Right. I also have other stuff on the freaking go. Right. People don't see everything that's going on in the back end. Right. Because like me, Daniel, our main focus is helping people get into this industry, helping other dads, helping families, right? Helping people actually get into this industry and be successful at it, because anybody can do this. It's just a matter of having the right community, the right support system, right? and the drive and hunger for success.
And we got to say what up though to Steve.
When
Yes.
when the very first commission I got was on February 4th of 2021. It was the same day I got all my teeth yanked out. I made a video coming out of the dentist's office. Don't even remember recording it because I was so freaking looped out from getting my teeth yanked. Made a video, went viral. I got my first $2.80 commission that night. And the whole neighborhood heard me.
Oh, and that's crazy.
That alone just justified that if I can make $2.80 online, I can do that again.
Right.
I can do that again, right? And that's the thing is like the online world is insane right now, right? You can literally create an ebook with ChatGPT right now. Create an ebook, use Canva, make a pretty little design, put it on Amazon, FBA, or whatever, and friggin' boom! Now you're making money from an ebook that you create in 15, 20 minutes.
Exactly. And Steve said money makes life a little bit easier. What up though, Steve? He coming to check it in with us as well. I don't care, like you said, I don't care what people say. Money helps. Like if you want to travel, if you want to have experiences, because that's what life is really about. Money, life is about experiences, being able to travel. You went to Taiwan, to see Daniel. Remember, like you going to Mexico with your wife, like you're living the dream. So why is now the time, like you said, the perfect time with AI and, to get started on something like digital marketing, to take a chance on themselves?
Well, that's the biggest thing is like, I wish when we first started, I wish we had the AI technology we have now, man. It's never been freaking easier to start a freaking business, right? It's never been easier to freaking ask a computer some freaking questions or have it program something for you, right? I literally can use ChatGPT 5 for pretty much almost 80% of my daily tasks, right?
And he created this GPT too, right?
AI these days, we have me and Daniel, we've taken probably about 80% of our workload, and now AI does most of the work for us, right? Downsized our whole team because of AI, right? That's the whole gist of this is AI just makes your life easier, right? Not only that, you learn from it at the same time, right? Even me, right? We have this AI sales closer that you're showing right there. That's built from the NAPQ framework, right? And that framework alone itself it's programmed to literally hit the right questions with your audience, right? Those right objections people have with any problems that they're running into, right? That's the thing with AI these days, is thinks for you, and it makes it so much easier, is so then you can actually scale a business rather than having to do these daily tasks over and over again. Use freaking AI to make your life easier. It doesn't matter there's so many tools out there. You got Nano Banana now, you got AI Freedom Launchpad, right? You got you got ChatGPT 5, you got VO3, right? Like all these freaking AI apps is absolutely insane. And I think
it's crazy. It is
incredibly, some of these videos out there are absolutely nuts. There's people out there literally using VO3. It may be a $300 a month subscription, about $200 a month subscription for VO3, but there's people using that, creating those Yeti videos you see on TikTok and YouTube, right? Posting them on YouTube, and they're making thousands of dollars a month just by freaking posting AI videos.
And who Jeff, Jeff does, he has he's creating these crazy videos with Google Veo and, with VA assistants and things like that as well. Like people don't understand, like all of these different AI, like this is one of them that was cracking up that he did with Google Nano Banana. And, so when we actually connect with different people, and that's literally even looking at your page, Nate, like the different pictures and things that you have and the opportunities that you can talk about as well. And you guys collaborating with these trends, like this is like game changing, because right now these trends are what are in order to get eyes at your actual, because I think what Daniel was trying to hit like 4 million views on his page yesterday, something crazy like that. Yeah. So like how are these like trends of posting? Because you're being very consistent. I like, I was checking you out earlier, like hyper focus with ADHD.
Well, the whole thing is like it comes back to collaboration, right? It could literally it's coming back to collaboration. Me, Daniel, Jonathan Montoya, a bunch of the big girls in the industry, right? We've all like we're all in a big sharing group now, and we just share each other's stuff, right, and support each other, right? Post valuable information that our audience think they learn from. It doesn't always have to be all here. This is my information. This is my value. No, well, I don't know everything. And I'll be the first to say that, right? I don't know everything, but there's other people in this industry, experts at that. Here, freaking go learn something from these guys, right?
And that's the great thing about the whole collaboration. So how important is it, though, Nate, for you to be authentic in sharing your story and helping people that may be a little bit like you, just to kind of let go and just go with it. Just keep going. How important is it to share your story is the question.
Well, that's the one thing was like storytelling is an art. It's literally come down to an art. Me and Daniel, we still say the same story that we've learned how to polish it off over the years, right? But we tell the exact same story pretty much all the time on a daily basis, maybe our weekly basis, right? We're always telling our content. We're always talking about being just normal freaking dads. We're nobody special, right? I have no freaking teeth. I'm an ex-addict, high school dropout, right? I am nobody special. All I did was take freaking action, right? And put the freaking work in. And it got the results that I desired, right? And was it easy? No, it's tough, man. Your mindset, you're gonna battle yourself every single freaking day, every day as an entrepreneur, right? But that's why your mindset is so important to keep control, right? It's because you got to keep leveling that up, right? I've almost quit this multiple times throughout the last 5 years, multiple times, right? But the thing that kept me going is just looking at my kids. I don't want to go back to another job.
Right.
I don't want to work for somebody else ever again. If I have to, I never will, right? Because that family time to me, that's everything.
Now, what's something that's made you almost give up, and what helped you pull you through not giving up? Do you have an instance that stands out for you?
A lot of times when it comes down, when I get in that kind of mindset, it's me. Right? Mm-hmm. It's just something's not going right. Maybe I haven't had the right sales that week or something like that. Or maybe somebody said something like it's the name of the game. We've had a lot of haters along the way, but we've also had way more supporters along the way. Right.
Right.
And the one thing that pushes me is my kids, man, is I have to. But the thing is, a lot of times I'll go back to like students' testimonials, right? A lot of our students' testimonials, I'll go watch a few of them, right? And just remind myself that me and Daniel, we're making impact in this industry and helping changing people's lives, right? Those video testimonies to me are everything from our students, right? They mean more to me than a $2,000 freaking commission, right?
They help me too. Yeah,
literally, they mean way more to me than money can buy, right? Because a testimony is somebody that says, "Hey, this person's actually freaking helped me. This is what they've helped me with, and I truly appreciate it."
And the different testimonials, it also gives you social proof too, because even after conversations and things like that, you just don't know what impact this is. I do this sometimes as well. Just go through and just kind of look at why I got invested into this and what the success of others can do. Because if one person can do it, I can do it too. That's my whole thing too, like Punchinella. So one thing I want to ask you too, like in regards to what do you actually see yourself like that's next for Nate? Like, is coaching it, or do you have some different things or patterns, right now I know you guys are building a school community, right, for Offer Lab. So that's one of the things that helps as well. What are some things that you have in the horizon that will help, people just continue to make sure they follow you and connect with you as well?
Oh, we've always got stuff going. We always got stuff. Yeah, we got the Offer Lab community. We just created a Facebook group community, school community, Facebook group community. But we've also got like our brand new SaaS software coming out, Webinar Expert, right? That's going to be exciting. We're going to be releasing that really soon, right? We're also partnering up with Jonathan Montoya on something else again. With literally, Daniel's been messaging me over this whole interview about it. little snippets. He's like, dude.
Right.
I'm like, oh, now we got something else, right? But that's the thing. Like, that's why I love this journey, is because, and that's why I love being like an affiliate. I love being a digital marketer, is because you're not tied down to one freaking product. I can promote 100 things if I want to, right? But you got to learn the skills first, right? You got to learn how to master these skills and know how to solve problems, right? With the right solutions, right? A lot of people come into this industry and they try to promote 100 freaking things, but they don't know how to promote one first.
Right.
Learn the skills to master one, and then just duplicate the process with with different products, right? It's literally, people overcomplicate this industry way more than they think they need to. People like it simple. If you can be simple, you'll have way more conversions.
So tell me this, like, I have my business partner, Unica Gaines, and you have your partner, Daniel Chu. And so how impactful is it to have somebody that rolls with you? Because remember, I told you today is 2 years anniversary of getting my third DUI. So so somebody that loves you for your ups and your downs. Daniel didn't judge you based on what your past was. He judged you based on your grind, your who you are. So how is it in regards to looking at business partners? Like, I don't want to work with anybody else, bro.
No. That's the thing. Like,
Daniel, like, because nigga, she stuck with me forever. Like,
yeah, well, I don't know. I think it was like me and Daniel, we just connected right off the bat, right? Like, we knew what people needed in this industry, and we both have a passion for helping, right? But the only thing, like, the thing was, like, me and him, we talk every single freaking day, right? Literally, he's probably the first person I message every morning. Hey, brother, good morning. What's up? Right? Like my best friend. I know his family. I've literally watched his kids grow up the last 4.5, 5 years, right? He's watched my kids grow up, right? So we're family, right? So that's the thing. Like, having him, I have some bad days. He has bad days. We lift each other up, but there's also times where we'll literally run competitions on each other, right? See who can get more sales, right? See who can get more leads, right? We'll push each other to our max, right? So we can make each other better, right? We're not here in competition with each other. We're here to lift each other up, right? And bring each other to the top. That's why we push each other, right? If he's not pushing me, then there's a problem. If I'm not pushing him, then there's a problem, right? Because if one of us slacks, then the other one has to slack, right? And that's just not the way it is, right? So we got to keep pushing ourselves. Me and Daniel, we've had our ups and downs over the years, right, with our business, right? But that's the joys of it, right? We've literally done challenges. We've invested over $100,000 in our knowledge and education in the online space, right? We put our money where our mouth is, right? Invested in our own money, right? We're not just here talking yap. We've learned from some of the best in the industry, right?
Right.
Jonathan Montoya and Dan Henry, those two people alone really changed the industry, really changed the game for me and Daniel. They really, like, the mindset alone, right? Richard, their team really helped mine and Daniel's back end system. Really helped our back end system get dialed in, right? People, price, we charge for our staff and everything like that, right? So we've learned along the way from a lot of different people, right? But a lot of it does come down to, like, me and Daniel we just push each other, right? He finds something I get excited about. We'll just push each other, right? Me and Daniel, it's funny because, like, when we invested in Dan Henry, we were hopping on a call. We knew he was going to pitch us, right? But we didn't think it was going to be Dan Henry popping on the freaking call,
right.
We get on this call for them to pitch us Deal Engine, and all of a sudden Dan Henry's sitting in front of us. Me and Daniel just look, what? Right? By the end of it, Dan said, "So it's 12K. You guys in or out?" Me and Daniel looked at each other and said, "Are you going to be there?" Like, literally showing us step by step. He's like, "Yeah, this is my plan." Boom, 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 boom. Shows exactly the journey, right? What he was going to show us and teach us. And it'll drop 12K the next day. Wired it to him, right?
Yeah, and that's how it goes, right?
That close to somebody like him, and just be able to ask them certain questions that we needed answered, right? That somebody else just couldn't do for us.
Right.
We're willing to make that investment in our business. And that's the thing is we got that back like 20-fold just from the knowledge. We couldn't resell that program and make that money back.
Right. Right.
We couldn't resell it and promote it as somebody else. We couldn't be affiliates because it was just Dan Henry's program, right? And that's the thing is like we literally made that investment just for the knowledge in itself. And a lot of people come in this industry and is like, I want to buy this program so I can resell it.
Right.
Well, you find this damn program to learn the damn skills, right?
Exactly.
The program is just a freaking bonus, right? It's just an added bonus on the back end. You want to learn.
And how important is it to invest in yourself? Like in regards to, it's cool getting started, like what I shared with the $5 and $7 program, and even your program being $9.97 is kind of a walk in the park. But how important is it to invest in yourself? Even though Offer Lab and all these different things are free to get in, having coaches and mentors like you, how important is it to take that leap and to go and to match your money where your mouth is? Because that's where the action is.
Well, like, that's the thing, like I was just saying, like just being able to invest just to get in the same room as people who have been there, done that, and have actually helped other people get the goals that you want.
Right.
It's worth that alone is worth the investment. Just being able to ask questions, because a lot of people they'll invest into a lot of these programs and then they just don't ask questions, and it's like you're literally just invested into a coaching program. Ask the damn question, because I can't read your mind.
Right.
What's going on in the front end, but I cannot tell what's going on in the back end unless you tell me, right? And just having that mindset of being able to coach these students, a lot of these students that come into our program, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of them, it's just a mindset thing. A lot of people, they just don't have the confidence. They don't think they're worthy enough for success, right? And that's where people need to push themselves past that, because like anybody can be freaking successful, right? It's just you got to build that confidence, right? You got to build that that hunger up, right? You got to go all in on you, because nobody else is going to come save you.
Nobody's going to save you.
Nobody's going to give you a fancy little life. If you win the lottery, more than likely you're going to be broke in 5 years again anyways.
Right.
You got to learn financial literacy. You got to start leveling up your freaking high income skills. I am not a business person. I'm a high school dropout, like I said, right? But for me to run, I have 4 businesses. I have 4 legit legal businesses. 2 of them are partnered with Daniel, and I have 2 of my own, right? Mm-hmm. The thing is I've never taken a business degree, but yet I run 4 businesses, right? And they're very successful, right? You do not have to be some professional degree person to be a successful person in the online industry these days. You just got to have the right hunger and the right drive and being able to take a risk on yourself and go all in.
And that's literally why we're creating the school community, like for financial literacy. That's what Unika and I, the Tax Extraordinary Resource Community, because again, we're getting all these millionaires. They only have 2 to 5 years and then they lose all their money. So helping them with the direction, that's kind of what helps, guiding them. That's next on my plate for me as well. So, but Nate, I wanted to tell you, bro, it's coming to the top of the hour and I want to do the fun part and I want to be respectful of your time as well. So something called the top 8. Okay. So the top 8 is just the fun part, kind of how we end everything. So the first question for the top 8 is, if you could be a superhero, any superhero at all, right? And so mine is Flash, because I'm a part of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. If you could be any superhero in the world, what superhero would you be and why?
Oh, frig. That's such a hard one. But it's definitely got to be Iron Man.
Iron Man? Why Iron Man? Ooh, I like it.
Just because the tech side, the freaking power, the brain, right?
Yeah, I like it.
I don't know, man. I've always liked Iron Man, but I've also been a big Hulk fan. right?
Oh, I've been a Hulk
So
fan too.
I've always
Right.
been a big Hulk fan. I'd say Iron Man for the skills and stuff, but like I've always
Okay.
been a Hulk fan, right? I was always a big Hulk guy.
I was always a Hulk. Ooh, I love the Incredible Hulk. And then how you
Right?
just turn green and
That's
so.
totally me. Like I was like a little Bam Bam when I was growing up. I was oh yeah, I was a crazy kid.
Okay, and if you listen live or on the replay, play along with us as well. So the next question for you is: what's one food that you can actually eat all day, every day, without anybody? Mine now is sushi. I changed it to sushi. What's your one food that you eat all day, every day, and weight is not an issue. Like if it's chocolate or something crazy like that.
Well, it's definitely chocolate for the first thing. Definitely chocolate. I'm a chocolate fiend. I've had to cut back because of my freaking heartburn, but chocolate is definitely my number one. It's pretty much that's my soul food. For me, it's definitely chocolate. But like if it was food wise, gotta stick with my wife's shepherd's pie, man.
Ooh, I love shepherd's pie.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's
yeah.
her.
It's one of
That's
my
good.
favorites. We just had it the other night. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I'm from Detroit, Michigan, as you know. What up, though? Share with me, where are you from originally, and where do you call home now?
No. See, that's a big question. I was originally born in Nova Scotia on the east coast of Canada, born there. Then parents moved to Alberta for a year, and then they moved to Ontario. And I was pretty much I grew up in Ontario. I was raised in Ontario, moved away at about 15 years old to BC, right? And I pretty much grew up in BC, and I started drywalling and stuff with my uncle and stuff like that, right? So I've been in and out of Alberta for the last 20 years, but I've pretty much been, I call Alberta home now, right? So I love Alberta. We might move to the Vancouver Island here in the next couple of years. We'll see what happens, but
Nice.
that'd be my dream spot here in Canada. Other than that, I would love to move to friggin' Costa Rica.
Nice. Okay, I like it. That's one of the next questions I'm going to get to. So, what is your favorite place you travel to, and why? Mine is actually Toronto, Ontario. Because my cousin, when he played Chris Bosh with the Toronto Raptors, so living there in Toronto for 7 years was amazing. But what's your favorite place that you traveled to, and why? Which you said Costa Rica. I haven't been there yet.
I used to hang out in Toronto all the time when I was 12 and 13 and 14 with my buddy Mario. We'd stay up all night just walking the streets of Toronto, man. It was yeah. I used to live just in Peterborough, Ontario, right? So
okay,
that's where I was raised. I was only about 2 hours away from Toronto, so. But yeah, friggin' no, my favorite place definitely Taiwan.
Taiwan, awesome.
Mexico is my home away from home. I love freaking Mexico. I love the people there. The food is way better there, right? Especially better than Canada. I love Mexico. It's my home away from home. I'm literally going there again in next April, right, with wife and kids. But Taiwan, man, is absolutely. If any of you guys get the chance to go to Taiwan, take it. Because
I've been to Japan for the Olympics, but I have not been to Taiwan. I went to, so that's I'm gonna have to put that on the list. So okay, awesome. So what's your favorite date, holiday, or season? Mine now is my sobriety date. November 30th or November 20th, 2023. But today, like I said, is the anniversary of my third DUI. So we won't do that again. So my sobriety day actually is the day that I look, because it's like the old Adrian is gone, right? Even it was 22 months sober, and just seeing like what I used to be and what I am now, it's totally different. I love this Adrian, but I love the old one too. But it is what it is. So what's a date for you that stands out for you?
Definitely my kids' birthdays. Definitely my kids' birthdays, especially my daughter, because that changed everything. Changed my entire life, right? So definitely my daughter's birthday on the 20th, right before Christmas. We actually had a Christmas baby. So
December 20th?
Yeah, December 20th. It was a good Christmas present for us back then. So definitely probably one of the bigger dates, right? I don't even remember my actual quitting date. I just know I quit about 18 years ago when I got out of prison, pretty much. I had one quick little relapse after I got out of prison, and then I basically moved to Alberta and been clean ever since, right? So to me, I don't really even keep track of like my clean dates anymore, just because that's the old me, right? Yes, it's part of who I am and what brought me to the person I am, but I don't label myself as that ex-addict anymore, right? I label myself as that I'm that father figure. I'm able to be there for my family, right? I have a past, but that doesn't make me who I am today. That doesn't predict where my future is going to be, right? Like I always tell everybody, don't let your past predict your future, right? Because like you can literally change it in a heartbeat.
But the one thing I like about having the sobriety day, honestly, is to let people know that it just because I always give such an aura, you know what I'm saying? So people just think that I'm just like don't have any type of fault, like any type of failures. And so just being authentic and honest and letting people know who I am, because nothing defines me. Like God has a plan that I don't even see. So it's just a part of my story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's one thing that just kind of stands out. But the next question I have as well for you is if you could, I probably already know the answer, but if you could recommend one book or movie that helped out with your mindset, what book or movie and for me was Rich Dad Poor Dad. So do you have a book or mindset that kind of helped you through your journey to help out?
Rich Dad Poor Dad's a good book. I love that book. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of what really got my mind going was a lot of like Jonathan stuff, but like Dan Henry's like motivational shit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
A lot of it was like Dan Henry's. I don't know. Dan Henry's one of my big idols. I've always looked up to him and stuff, right? And just the way he talks and how he's not that I wouldn't say he's cocky, but he's confident, right? He's very confident. Some people might look at him and say he's cocky, but he's not. He's very confident, right? And there's a big difference between the two of those, right? And that's something I've always looked up to, right?
You guys actually introduced me to Dan Henry and his YouTube channel because, like, when I was watching his, like you said, like he's blunt, he's honest, he's like, what are you doing? What I mean, you know what I'm saying? So he does have a similar personality to you, Nate. So I can kind of see that. I can see that relationship, kind of having the two for you guys. But if you don't know who Dan Henry is, like, you definitely want to get involved with him or follow his work because he's freaking amazing because it's the way he talks or what have you.
Yeah.
And I love what Steve said too. He said, we do recover. That's real talk, Steve. Yes, bro.
Yeah, we definitely do recover.
So tell me, my friend, if in one word, how can you describe your brand or everything that you've been through? And so my word is resilient. And I want to make sure Steve said too. He said it's not cocky if you can catch back. He said it's not cocky if you can back it up. I know that's right, Steve. What up, though? Come on, Steve. Preaching. Yeah, so that's real talk.
And that's why I'm so confident with the price tag of pop, right? Because I'm very confident in it. And I have no problems telling people it's only $9.97 because I've paid $10,000 for less freaking support and coaching.
Yeah.
Like, literally, me and Daniel spent $30,000 on Richard Yu, and we talked to Richard Yu once in 6 months. And $30,000 spent, right? So that's the thing is like, I'm very confident, right? It's very confidence because we've helped a lot of people in this industry, right? And I love it because, and you say what's the one word and it's impactful.
Come on, impactful. Come on, Nate. That's amazing. I love it.
Impactful because that's why me and Daniel do this is we want to make an impact in the industry. If you're not making an impact, you're not going to get heard. You're not going to be seen, right?
I love it. And so the last question I have for you, I'm gonna let you get back to your day, is if you can go back to younger Nate and tap younger Nate on the shoulder and actually give him a piece of advice where he's actually listening, because we didn't listen as kids. So where he's actually listening, what advice would you give younger Nate to actually take him through this journey called life?
Definitely don't listen to the freaking society's rules, man. Definitely don't listen that you have to friggin' work your entire life away for somebody else's friggin' paycheck and trade your time for money because that may have been in what it was like 10, 15, 20 years ago, but not anymore. It's 2025. I'm sorry. There is more opportunities out there than there ever has been, right? And
Yeah.
you could change your entire life by just making a simple choice to go all in on yourself.
That's it.
And it's just learn some new skills, right? And there's so much free information out there. If investment, when you invest into like a course or a coach or a mentorship or whatever, you're investing to save time. For me, money is a tool to make me more money. It is not a need. It is not a want anymore. Money is
Mm-hmm.
just a tool to help me make more so my family can have a good life.
That's
Right?
it.
You look at money as a tool rather than an object, it becomes a totally different thing, right? Now money is, if I spend money, I can save time. To
That's
me,
it.
time is
Right.
priceless. Right? You can't get back time. So if I can spend something to learn something a little bit quicker, right, where I'm not second guessing myself or having to figure it out all on my own, I am more than willing to fork out some freaking cash. Like me and Daniel, we dropped another $1,000 last month, friggin' on this new SaaS program we're about to drop, right? Like we have no problems investing if it's going to help us, right? And a lot of people, they're scared to make that investment. But it's not so much the investment, it's themselves, it's them that they're scared to invest in. Their time, their effort, right?
Or even the fear of failure, right? Because I know for me, it was like I did what's so amazing with this community, like with Pop, with Alpha Lab, with these different people. Like I connect with you guys because I don't have anyone, even with my business partner, she's starting to turn to see now as well, that I don't have anybody that's cheering me on in this space. It's I have the naysayers of my mother, my family, I love them, but you don't have the people that's going through the grind and can see the end goal. So it's important for me to get around people. That's why I show up every week I haven't missed a week, bro. I was so hurt that one week I missed. Like I should, because that's the reason I have to get my mindset. I have to be around my family. That's what I call you guys. And everything that you've been through, Nate, like I truly appreciate you just being honest, authentic through it all. Like you've always been this way. That's one thing I can say about you, bro. You've been I want to thank you for your time.
And neither do you guys. Like nobody's got time for bullshit and fluff. Like
right.
Literally, we don't have time for it. So why bullshit, right? Be straight to the point, man. Get down to the point with people, man. Be honest with people, right? Some people might not be able to handle you, but they're not your people then.
Right. So that's why you got to go find your people. And I'm glad I found my people with you and Daniel and Jonathan and my team. And so thank you so much, Nate, for even just saying yes to this live virtual conversation.
Oh, no, it's been an honor, actually. I enjoy going on interviews and stuff and telling the story. So, and you had Daniel on last week. I still have to go catch that one myself. I was sick last week, so I couldn't even catch it last week, man. Just getting over that freaking cold now, so...
Right, it wasn't just a cold, bro. You had like a lung infection. Like that was huge.
That's pretty bad.
So thank you.
I don't get sick. That's the thing. Like that's the first time I've been like really sick in like 20 years. Like it's been a long time since I've been sick.
Golly. So I thank you for saying yes. I am going to ask you for a testimonial after you end as well. But thank you, bro. I appreciate your time. I'm going to let you get back to your day. And thank you again. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it. Honor having me on. Thank you.
Thanks, bro. Okay. Come on! From trucking to addiction to coaching and freedom, Nathan Volkers, my friends, his digital marketing journey, just sharing just being honest and authentic. I love the fact that God has given me this opportunity to, like I was just sharing with him. I love my family and friends. Let me make that clear. but again, like I know that building this team of family that I have around me, I have Nathan Volkers, I have a Daniel Chu, I have a Jonathan Montoya, I have the Billy Jeeves marketing, I have a Jason Fladian, I have the Dan Henrys and the Myron Goldens, millionaires and billionaires that I'm looking to be so I can be the best version of who Adrian Mays is supposed to be, to bring it back to you. We have the giving spirit. We have the giving heart. And every single person that actually takes the opportunity to watch this live or even to watch the replay, just to be a part of what's going to be next. It's like I always make people a relation to Elon Musk. It can be a good thing or a bad thing with Elon Musk, right? He's done great things and he's done some questionable. He's a billionaire. And so he can have the opportunity to bring things like Tesla and electronic cars and trying different things and being exposure. That's the beautiful thing about having this mindset of working as a entrepreneur. So I wanted to close with actually showing this again in regards to what the difference is, what me and Nate and everything is in regards to Rich Dad Poor Dad, the mindset. Employees work with their active working, right? Which is the 9 to 5s, where if you're self-employed, you work actually more. You work maybe 80 hours for a 40-hour work week, right? But you have the one thing in the middle is called financial freedom, where you can actually start looking at different businesses and looking into the different investments. And being the best version of yourself is finding out those limits that you never know unless you try. So I'm having the opportunity of not only building this whole billionaire idea with my business partner, Unica Games, and even just kicking off, like I said, just being authentic and real in my story, because people look at me, I have the degrees, I have an electrical and mechanical engineering from Murray State. Yay, I have a master's from Murray State. Wonderful. I've worked for my cousin that played professional basketball, Chris Bosh. Awesome. But who am I today? You know what I'm saying? I've been a mortgage broker. I was an insurance broker. I did different things. I made failures. Like I said, today is the anniversary of my 3rd DUI. So I don't have it all figured out, but I have God in my plan. And so as long as I keep going, as long as I know that the design that he's laid out, this amazing community that Unica and I are actually connecting and collaborating in to bring to you guys in a couple of weeks, all of these different things is called education and growing and building and being the best version of today. So thank you for having the opportunity for my brother, Nathan Bokers, and listening to his story as his raw and authentic story. If you can't do it, if he can do it, why can't you? So that's literally who I put people around me with. I'm going to be there too, because I'm going to be the first woman. I told him and Daniel, I'm going to be the first woman coach on the Wealth Warriors coaching team. They just don't know it yet. So I aspire to be great, but I have to be first. I have to get over my first $1 million hump. So that's one of the requirements of coaching with the Wealth Warriors. So my family, I have aspirations. Like Steve said, it's not cocky if you can back it up. So I got to spend every single day working hard, grinding so I can back it up, because we do recover. We do actually keep going, but you have to get around the right people in order to do so. So hopefully you got a little bit of tidbit about Offer Lab, because everybody should be in Offer Lab. Everything I say every day is going to have something to deal with it. You'll see too on my page now that, we're doing a fundraiser with CCC Because We Care Foundation for my actual cousin that passed away, Tyrone Kool-Aid Wright, on September 30th, 2019. And so, we do a fundraiser every year in order to actually help him as well. And with my auntie Janet. So, it was leaving her house. I was leaving her house, setting up her fundraiser 2 years ago. And I literally made a bad choice. And drinking and driving is not something I recommend for anyone, but it happens. So what I'm showing you is what's possible, what you can actually recover from. And, literally don't go down that road. So I love my auntie Janet. I love doing this fundraiser for Tyrone Kool-Aid Wright. And we're going to actually show that it's going to be a lovely day every single day, as long as we keep going, as long as we keep grinding. And we're doing this fundraiser for cancer awareness research, because that's what he passed away from. So I love you guys. Hopefully you were able to actually get some benefits in this actual live video. Go for it. Like Steve said, you go, girl. And bro, I'm going to keep going. We got to keep grinding, because if I can give, and once I hit billionaire status, I can give to cancer research. I can give to all of the different things I want to give to, because that's what God designed. So I will, I shall be victorious. What up, though? Detroit, Michigan to Canada. Come on, Alberta. Let's go. Deuces.